Hopefully you'll find plenty to look at this afternoon. There's plenty coming on. There's one or two stalls around, as well as demonstrations. Later on in the afternoon we'll have a tug of war. Hopefully we'll have some young farmers teams, and if you've got a few friends there that you'd like to make up a challenge, we've got some musical entertainment during the afternoon as well. We've got Beth, who's a local lady that writes and performs her own music, and she'll be along, I think, about 4 o'clock. We've also got a folky duo who are very, very funny, Novak and Good, who are doing a world tour of Severn Stoke this afternoon. Going along the stalls, we've got local artists Joe and Ruth, Joe and Sue, and they've got both their mobile art gallery, and they've also got a stand, beautifully displayed, showing miniatures, selling miniatures and originals. And just next to them is the homemade jewellery stall of Suzanne, that's got all sorts of different fabrics and textures to her jewellery, which she makes all herself. Around the corner we've got Target Croquet and vintage old Skittles with a vintage old guy David is looking after. And also we've got EJ Jewellery, so a different type of jewellery stand over there. And then there's Frameworks, who local people, Neil and Brenda, live just by the church there, and superb framing if you want any frames or prints. And Brenda is lady next door with a super array of garden plants that she's grown in window boxes in her bathroom. No, I actually told a fib on that one. We've got the mighty machine of Friends of St Dennis doing the bottle stall, where you choose a rope. It's the most incredible mechanical operation in the world, and it's also raising 50 pence a go. It's raising money to keep the fabric of the village and the church together. Coming round, Nick is in the corner doing his bushcraft, and is already enveloped in children and adults, but he'll teach you how to live should the floods come back and we all need to shelter under a gazebo in the corner of the high ground again. He'll keep you alive, dry and well. And then we've got all of the pupils and some of them aided by the parents from Handy Castle School, and they're raising money for a trip to China, which is south of Gloucester, I'm told. And so to enable them and to give you some jolly good entertainment, there's things as diverse as Hook-a-Duck and Splatter-Rat, Name the Fish, and the Ice Cream Hunt. So there's loads of things happening there. And next to them, the guides and cubs and brownies, who've got a lovely tea stand there. So if you're looking for soft refreshment, that's your port of call in the blue gazebo. Only next to, and they shouldn't be made into anything in the tea tent, we've been lucky enough that the Worcestershire Owl Conservation Society have come to visit us this afternoon, and they've brought a fascinating array of owls that can't be returned to the wild in these particular instinct, or in these particular cases, but also to try and conserve the owls that are still living in the wild and can stay living in the wild. They make boxes and put them out and that to try and encourage the growth of barn owls and other owls. So there's a lovely array of owls in there, and also some interesting stories of what they'll do. Right down on the bottom in the paddock in front of the church, there's by courtesy of a lot of people, there's an interesting array of vintage cars, classic bikes, and some agricultural vehicles, and one or two agricultural characters stood around the agricultural vehicles. And just in front of them we've had a visit from the Harley Davidson riders, and they've got, if you want to have a look at their array of machinery, it's quite gobsmacking. It's like a Rolls Royce on 2 wheels in some cases, quite amazing. And in the middle of all of the vintage cars and the amazing bikes, there is a rather top-class model from Morgan that they've allowed to come down here today. And if you hear it take off and go, and have a look at the interior, you can see why it costs more than 3 and 6 and a cornflakes top. About half an hour's time, 40 minutes time, we should have the pig roast up and going. And they're just the last few minutes now, just grinding and crackling off the top. And just next to the pig roast is a bouncy castle. If you children want to go on the bouncy castle, it's for free. All we'd ask you to do is not take any food and drink on, and to take your shoes off. So loads to do and loads to see, and we'll introduce you to the people during the afternoon as they come along. So lots of entertainments to come on over the next 3 or 4 hours. Thanks all ever so much, and I hope you have a thoroughly good time. And a big thank you to all the people that have put themselves out to arrange for all this different stuff to happen. Thank you.
Goes to Bridge Town and the county down one morning last July. Down a Bowling Green came a sweet Colleen, and she smiled as she passed me by. She looked so sweet from her 2 bare feet to the sheen of her brown hair. Such a course, and I'll try to shake myself just to see I was really there. From Bantry Bay up to Derry Quay, and from Galway to Dublin town, no maid I see like the sweet Colleen I met in the county down. As she on the bed, sure I scratched me head, and I looked with a feeling red. And I met my love by the Gazibo wall. Dreamed our dreams spanning over the night. I kissed my girl by the factory wall. Dirty old town, dirty old